Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. Got another Master Duel video for you, coming at you with yet another one of our weekly viewer specials because it's Monday. So if you are new to this series or channel, every single Monday here, I showcase games that you, the viewers, have submitted. That way we get to see not only some decks and strategies that I might not be aware of or don't have time to cover myself, but even if it's a deck I've already covered, it's a really good chance just to show off your cool games, and we get to kind of come together as a community and cheer each other on, which I always think is really, really cool and the best part of this series. So if you're interested in getting a game in for the viewer special, just head down to the description below. There's an invite link to our Discord server, the Hexlex Plex. Once you are in there, under the Master Duel section, there's a channel called Viewer Special Submissions. Just drop your 9-digit player ID, and then I can view your publicly saved replays. And if you've got one in particular you want me to see, just leave like a screenshot or your opponent's name or something, and you might get covered on the next video. But anyway, that's all for my intro here, so let's get on into your duels. Alright, our first duel comes to us from Chef Alnick, resident Nouvelles expert on the server, and true to form, we are going to be taking a look at Nouvelles with the new support. This does, of course, include the new Chef de Nouvelles, as well as we've got the recipe book and, of course, the new Angry Burger as well. So this is one of those decks that I think is really cool, but I know literally nothing about, so I always like to leave it to Alnick to show me what's going on with Nouvelles and just how good it is. And we're going to be going, looks like we're going second against Maliss, and according to Alnick here, we're going to be in some pretty dire straits. Not only are we going second against Maliss, I think he said that we only opened Engine, and we have to play into a Maxi, so if I trust anybody to pilot a game like this to victory, it's definitely going to be Chef Alnick here. Let's let him cook. Let's see what we got. All right, we got a couple of diviners. Yeah, it's all Engine. So it looks like they're going to open with a Lure of Darkness, banishing the Chessy Cat F in order to summon, and then banishing Maliss in the Mirror to draw 2. Banishing Maliss in the Mirror tells me they were probably trying to dig for some more plays. Maybe they didn't really have much. It's probably also why they led with a Lure as well. But it looks like they did find a Gold Sark, which is going to get Dormouse and then White Rabbit F activating here, setting the GWC. Of course, it's always when they, when you don't have any hand traps that they play super hard into them, right? So we're going to set another card and then go into Splash Mage rather than Link Decoder, and then looks like they're going to use that in order to make Red Ransom. So they did Cyberslock themselves pretty early, so thankfully it doesn't look like we'll have to deal with an Appaloosa. Although in about a week we won't have to deal with Appaloosa at all, am I right? Okay. They've got a Wizard at Ignister, which they're going to use to revive the Dormouse here. And did they add Underground, I'm assuming? Because they already, banished Maliss in the Mirror from hand. Okay, there's the Link Decoder. And then is this going to be Heart Scripter or White Binder? It's White Binder, okay. Link Decoder F gets to revive. White Binder F is going to set the MTP from deck. Going for the Maliss and Underground here. And then we're going to turn everything into a Heart Scripter. Oh, okay, and then they're returning Maliss in the Mirror to banish itself and then summon itself. Recycling the Maliss in the Mirror. And then passing. So, yeah, I mean, I guess by like day 1 Maliss and board standards this is fine, but either way, it's still going to be a pretty uphill battle, and sure enough, there is the Maxi that we're going to have to push through as well, as we're immediately beginning our turn with the Angry Burger effect. So let us add the Chef from deck to hand, returning the Angry Burger, going for today's menu, but they're going to Ash Blossom that on top of Maxiing us as well. Thankfully, it seems like our hand is already pretty stacked. We're going to set up one of our Pendulum Scales here. The Chef gets to add our Field Spell. Diviner's activating, sending Herald F in order to add the level 1 ritual. Not going to pretend I know how to pronounce any of these names that are in French here. Going for Dogmatica Maximus next. It's like they're going to use Heart Scripter now on the Maximus. Opponent really did not want to lose any of their extra deck there. It could also be that, like, I find that, when you're playing a rogue deck like Nouvelles, a lot of people will tend to underestimate it sometimes to the point that they play more against your off engine than your actual engine itself, but Honestly, when I play a deck against a deck like Nouvelles that's like a rogue deck and I don't really know what it does, I tend to be more scared than if I'm playing against like Ryzeo or Maliss, because like Ryzeo or Maliss, I know what's up. Like I know their bag of tricks, I know what they can do. But a deck like Nouvelles, again, I think this deck is really cool, but I have no idea what's going on. I have a vague idea. Only a vague idea though. Getting to add the Bale Grill. This is the one that's like a board wipe and then you can do stuff if you have Hungry Burger, right? You can summon Hungry Burger. Yeah, you negate and then tribute. Yep, okay. Let's see, there's that Angry Burger. They're reviving the White Binder, which means they get to banish a bunch of Maliss cards from their graveyard. We get to go for the Chef F. It's going to special summon itself. Honestly, the thing that I think Maxi is scaring me the most about is like Nibiru. That's what I'm thinking about the most here, right? Although to be fair, Nibiru tributes, I don't know if this is like other ritual archetypes, Mitsuri, where when stuff gets tributed you can activate effects, but... Okay, we got the new spell card here. Turns everything to attack mode, that's why the White Rabbit got switched there. Going for the level 4. Oh no, this one isn't new. I thought this card was new for some reason. And this makes them, oh no, it adjusts levels, okay. It's, okay, every time you tribute, they pay 850. I knew it did damage somehow. Alright, they're gonna go for Magnum Hut and then Chessy Cat. But, like, we're still pretty fine here. Like I said, I think it's the idea of them drawing into a Nibiru that's really intimidating me the most here. Because the Maliss end board really doesn't put up much interaction in and of itself. I missed if they used the MTP already. It doesn't look like they have, so... That could still, of course, come down at any moment. Tribute it. Okay, there's the MTP. And this one is doing what again? Tribute if you do special summon. Okay, so now we're going to summon the level 6, I see. It's attributed and if you do. So yeah, they banished the... I was going to say if they banish their own card, but I think... Oh, this banishes any card in the field. So I think if I'm reading that right, they should have actually used the MTP on their own card because the tribute effect was an and if you do. So that means if they had banished their own Maliss monster, we wouldn't have been able to summon the Bale Grill here. But I don't fault our opponent at all for not knowing to do that, because I would not have known to do that either. Maybe in the moment I would have caught it, but... Wow. There we go. The Maliss end board, the Maxi, the early Ash Blossom, none of it mattered as we cooked up a recipe for victory. Thank you very much for showing that off, Alnick. We still, of course, have a couple more games to look at. Let's go into the next one. Okay, next game comes to us from Zine, aka Night Mango, over on the Discord server, who is also playing a deck from the latest pack. We're going to be on Dragonmaid, but in the form of a fusion sort of pile. I was going to call it Dragon Link because it's a pile deck with a bunch of dragons, but we got a lot more fusions and link monsters going on down here. As well as some cards that I've never seen before. Eyes of the Dragoness of Deranged Devotion. Cannot be used as material. Start the damage step battles with wares. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm definitely eager to see this all play out here. So that's going to be our deck, and then it looks like we are up against Branded. And as you can see here, this is going to be quite a back and forth game. 7 turns, so let's go ahead and get right on into it. I've been, like, a little tempted to try the new Dragonmaid stuff, but I don't know. I don't really want to open the new pack. I don't really want to use craft points on it. It's not like I think Dragonmaid is a neat deck, but it's not one that I'm, like, probably going to play beyond one video, if I'm being completely honest. So that's why I haven't splurged on it yet. Okay, so we had a little bit of a brick hand here, looks like. As our opponent's going to lead with Branded and High Spirits. Pitching a Phantasme, wow. It is pretty good against Maliss and Orcust. I did Tech Phantasme and Abyssal Fiendsmith deck in Maliss format, but anyway. What do we have face down? It's the Tiding? Yeah, Tiding. We do have Magnum Hut to potentially use with that. So it's not like we have nothing here, but obviously definitely not an ideal way to start a duel, especially when Branded is just popping off here with the Branded Fusion. Well, they went to battle phase very quickly there. I feel like for resolving Branded Fusion, they should have been able to maybe do a little bit more. But to be fair, you know, even if they had, we do have, again, the Magnum Hut plus Dragonmaid Tiding here to stop them. So we can get rid of their Granganol that way. I think that's what that one's called, right? No, that one's Rindbrum, right. Granganol's the other one, yeah. The other one, the only other, you know, branded SPF fusion monster. Anyway, normal summon Parlor here. I know that one, to dump the chamber, and then we can use the chamber Dragonmaid form in order to revive her. So we're going to then banish for the Ladies Dragonmaid. It's one of the new cards, of course, which lets us summon a Dragonmaid monster directly from the deck. We're going to use Magnum Hut to get rid of their Mercurier. I don't know if that'll let them search. Is that like they can only use one of the effects per turn? No, it's each effect. So they do get a search here, unfortunately, but at the same time, it does stop the revive. I think it's fine. So we get to resolve Kitchen, Regained, and oh yeah, the Magnum Hut search here. They're going for the Albion. Regained gets us a draw, which is Hospitality. That's definitely not bad. And then we can search Kitchen's Dragon form and then pitch it. Now we're going to link Parlor and Kitchen. What are these going to make? Oh, Spheres. Okay. Alright, here's Hospitality to revive the Parlor and then dump her Dragon form. Now we're going for Changeover, where they're going to chain Super Poly, discarding the Golden Sword Soul. Obviously not ideal. They're going to fuse, whoa. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Into Alba Lanatus, wow. So suffice it to say our changeover does not resolve there. Yeah, because Alba Lanatus can be summoned by just, you know, sending Albaz and all the dragon monsters, but they can't do that as a quick effect, so they would have to Super Poly in order to be able to do it that way. So Kitchen's going to revive the Lady's Dragonmaid, and then still in battle phase, we can use the Dragon's Light and Darkness. I thought that was going to go for a fusion summon there, but it went for an attack buff instead. Baldrake to banish the Alba Lanatus, that way they don't get the end phase effect there. Okay, so we're actually in a pretty solid position, all things considered. And then they had another Super Poly. Well, okay. We do still have Maxi, if nothing else, but I was going to say, like, you know, we got the Baldrake up in case they try to start some plays. We've got Maxi. We got Regained, which two of those things are still true. Well, one of those things is still true. Yeah, Furious Dragon being able to pop the Branded Regained is pretty bad for us. Branded Regained is really good in any sort of a grind game scenario. That's why Abyssal Fiendsmith is like such a good control deck, is because it's not solely on the back of Branded Regained, but Branded Regained can put in a lot of work. They're going to use Albaz to fuse with Our Lady's Dragonmaid, of course, into the Mirror Jade themselves. And it doesn't look like we have any hand traps, so we're kind of at the mercy of our opponent's hand here. Although, yeah, it's just going to be Albion and Branded and High Spirits, the cards they added back during their last end phase there. The chaining was pretty good there to be able to get both effects off. But all they did was summon Cartesia and then move to battle phase here. Not enough damage to finish us off. Okay. End phase Titaniclad is going to summon an Albaz. We get a draw. It's just another Starleash Safer, though. Right on time, Ash Blossom. Alright, here's Bestial Lubellion for a Druid Swarm. Then we're going to go Druid Swarm F, banish an Albaz from their yard to summon. Mirror Jade's going to activate here. Which is honestly not bad for us, for it to be out of the way already. They can summon Albion, that's whatever. Kitchen Dragonmaid activates. They're going to go Cartesia F. With the Albion, is this going to be Granganol? Yeah, okay, here's Granganol. The Dusk Dragon. Kitchen F to add Airness, and then discard Airness. We're going to Ash Blossom the Granganol F. Definitely sounds good to me. And then this tributes for the summon effect, right? Or it banishes itself. Okay. So we can't call by that, unfortunately. Wow, Lulu Lilith. I have not seen that card from Brandon in quite some time. We're going to go Lady's Dragonmaid to summon Nurse, and Nurse F to try to revive. Now we can call by against the Cartesia here, as the Golden Sword Soul is trying to activate. Yeah, Nurse revives Parlor. Oh, and then now Parlor F can send... Oh, we're going to send Tiding. And then we can start bouncing, yep, for the dragon forms, because those are already in the graveyard. And it looks like this is going to be our kind of big comeback turn, as we're now taking advantage of the board. And we still have a ton of cards in hand here. Changeover, we get to add that back to hand. This will let us set up our Shiyu, which will finally get our Omni Negate online. Yeah, no, we're in a fantastic spot now. They do get their end phase effects, but honestly, that's not a big deal. The Springin's Kick, because yeah, it's just going to go back into the deck. Lulu Lilith summons Cartesia. Brandon High Spirits adds itself back. And then, is there anything else? No, that's it. Okay. I gotta love Brandon's main phase 3, but we are looking pretty good here. Gonna use Lady's Dragonmaid Diffuse during their standby phase, making the Borreload Furious Dragon, setting up even more disruption during their turn. And then, of course, we get to revive Parlor off Shiyu as well. Parlor dumping the Chamber Dragonmaid form, Borreload Furious popping their Cartesia during the standby phase, ensuring that they won't be able to fusion summon during their main phase with her. Okay, here they're going to go Branded Retribution to try to get back the Branded Fusion, which we're going to change Shiyu in order to negate that. I think I might have maybe let them add Branded Fusion back and activates, just since it's at 2, they could have another copy in hand, but I don't know, actually. Okay, I guess they could have top-decked it, because they top-decked Branded in white instead, but it wouldn't have mattered either way here. Okay, they're going to go through Lubellion, discard the Branded High Spirits. Yep, that's in hand. I was going to say, I think that's the card in hand. With Albaz to make another Mirror Jade. But they're just kind of spinning their wheels at this point. Like, they can make Mirror Jades, and yeah, it's not like Mirror Jade is nothing, but, you know, we've already handled one Mirror Jade, and we definitely have the resources to handle another. Meanwhile, our opponent is, like, slowly petering out of resources. It's kind of insane to see just about any deck, like, go toe for toe with Branded as far as, like, you know, resource recycling, but it's really, really something to see Dragonmaid do it here. Cycling back the kitchen to add in the discard. End phase, they get to... Oh, they don't get to summon Cartesia. Right, because it's negated. And then they get to add back Branded and High Spirits. But it looks like that's finally the end of their resource recycling there. Dark End Evaporation Dragon is another really good way to fusion summon this deck. So we're going to do that right now. Or we're going to special summon it, rather. Mirror Jade, they get to save the Branded opening. Now we're going to perform our fusion summon. This one... Oh, it's for Philia Regis, of course. The new, you know, unofficial Dragonmaid boss monster. Banishing Alibar out of their graveyard is an excellent call. We don't need that reviving and negating our stuff. Shermba F, discard to revive Lady's Dragonmaid. Lady's Dragonmaid gets to summon out Chamber from deck. Chamber can just add a Dragonmaid Hospitality. This is insane. Like, this is kind of what I was talking about. Like, when the Dragonmaid engine really gets going, it's really cool and it's really strong. The problem, I think, is mostly that Dragonmaid really excels in a grind game, and as far as like the number of disruptions it puts on its turn one end board, it's not really nearly as great as other decks, right? But there we go. Out-grinding Branded with Dragonmaid. You'll love to see it. That was an excellent duel. I think we have time for one more, so let's go into that last game here. And our final duel comes to us from Draco. So Draco is going to be on the Galaxy Eyes deck, which is one that I actually lost to recently to the triple tachyon transmigration strategy, which it looks like we're rocking here as well. Yeah, I remember it was in a video too. I encountered, I think it was actually a live duel video where I encountered Tachyon on ladder and they went first, and I was like, huh, what is this? What does Galaxy do going first? And we learned the hard way. But let's see, it looks like our opponent is going to be on a pile deck for the red dragon, archetype here. So let's go ahead and finish off the video with this duel here. We're taking the first turn, so I'm guessing we're going to try to go for a similar strategy to the one I encountered, where you just like load up on Tachyon transmigrations. Alright. Oh no, we did actually select going second. Oh, I see. We won the coin flip. I just always associate winning the coin flip in my head with going first. So I saw the coin flip win there, and I was like, oh, so we're going first here? No, okay, we are going to go second for the big OTK strategy. I see. Alright, so let's see how we end up pushing through this red dragon board here. I don't see any of our board breakers in our hand here. Unless this is one? No, yeah, this just doubles the attack of one of our dragons. Okay, they're going to go for the Scarred. Looks like they're going to go for pretty much full red dragon combo here, which will end them on, I think, the board-wide banish and a couple of negates. Yeah, here's the Dispater. Red Dragon Archfiend's going to get summoned here. Oh, wait, they're playing Earthbound Immortal? Oh, the one that lets you cheat out the red Nova Dragon? That's cute. Hang on, where is that? Where'd that card go? Yeah, what does this do? Can only be one Earthbound Immortal monster on the field. During the main phase, you can banish a card from your hand or graveyard. Send an Earthbound Immortal monster or Red Dragon Archfiend from your hand or face-up monster zone. Apply one of these effects. Special to Earthbound monster from your deck or extra deck, or a Red Nova Dragon from your extra deck. So they decided to cheat out Red Nova Dragon. That's really cute. And they get to summon the Earthbound Immortal. Adorable. They can make a rank 12 if they really wanted to. Well, no, they can. They're locked into synchros, right? Alright, so let's see what we got here. They're going to flip up Red Zone. Got that Joel and Lockbird. Right on time, of course. We're leading with Starliege Safer, which is going to go for the Tachyon Cloud Dragon here. This can special summon itself. Yeah, this card's like Tachyon Poplar, pretty much, right? Yeah. Going for the Tachyon Primal, and they're going to chain the Red Zone in order to pop it, but it only destroys it, it does not negate, so we can still add 7th Tachyon. I'm sure a card a lot of people are familiar with, although here we're actually using it for its quote-unquote intended purpose, revealing the Tachyon Dragon, and we're adding Schwarzschild Limit Dragon, as well as we also have the Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon as well. It's going to special summon itself, as well as the Galactic Spiral Dragon, going into our Divine Gold Dragon Dragolon. Again, a card we're familiar with, although here we're actually using it for its quote-unquote, intended purpose. Getting to special our 2 level 8s here, and then we're going to go into a rank 8 dragon with 3000 attack. That's going to be Dragbolon with the B. Draglubon? However you want to say it. There's Dragolon with the X, and then there's Dragbolon, or whatever. Anyway, we're going to go for the ranked up number C107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon here, which negates everything and can attack multiple times because it distributed 2 monsters, right? And then battle phase, yep, we've got the Saga of the Dragon Emperors, as well as the Galaxy Eyes Satellite Dragon F, which will give it a buff and then double its attack points. Oh no, it just doubled it twice. So that's 21,400 attack. Wow. How often do you see somebody deal over 8,000 battle damage and then the opponent is still alive? But that didn't even matter here because of the multiple attacks. That was a fun game to end off on. Thank you very much, Draco, as well as everybody else, of course, who submitted for the viewer special. As always, as ever, we could not do this series without you, so thank you everybody who submitted. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. Let us move on to our outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/Hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.